Hi, this is Chris Anthony Lansdowne, and I was the voice of Barbie. And you're in conversation with ATF and me, Barbie. Oh my gosh, is that too crazy?
That
Hi,
was that was
Amber.
brilliant. Hi, Chris Anthony Lansdowne. Oh my gosh,
Hello.
hello. So, for those of you at home, hello. My name is Amber Jones. You're currently watching, as Barbie said, in conversation with ATF. My guest today, of course, is Chris Anthony Lansdowne. That's the second time I've said that, but honestly, her name just rolls off the tip of your tongue. She's been the
Oh, it's
voice.
like a song.
Oh yeah, it's like she's been the voice of Barbie for a lot of Barbie games. So let me list some if I can. There's Barbie fashion designer, there's Barbie story maker, Barbie cool looks fashion designer, Adventures with Barbie, Ocean Discovery, Barbie photo designer, Barbie riding club, Detective Barbie, Mystery of the Carnival Caper, Barbie digital makeover, Detective Barbie, Mystery at Lighthouse Cove, Barbie sticker designer, Barbie pet rescue, Barbie princess bride, Barbie
Barbie, Barbie,
explorer, and
Barbie.
secret agent Barbie.
Yes.
Oh man. Actually, right. I've got to ask real quick. Have you seen the new Barbie?
Of course I've seen it. You know,
I haven't.
I have a funny story for you. Okay.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
Amber, I'm surprised you haven't seen it. First of
I'm so
all, I want to tell you, this morning was so fun because every morning I go through my drive-through Starbucks, right? And
yeah.
they know me pretty well there. So
Okay.
I get a let's see, a tall iced soy chai with an extra pump of chai.
Ooh.
So they know my order by heart. And I come through and there's the same girls, same guys, the manager's there. And so every day I do a different voice to come through the drive-through. So that keeps it fun for them. They're really sweet to me. And I try to fool them and I said, "Oh, hello there. Yes, I'd like to order a tall iced soy chai." And just go on. And they go, "Hi, Chris." They never fall for it. But today I did something really crazy. Can I share this with you? Could you want to
Of
see what I
course you
did?
can.
Okay.
Of course you
Here,
can.
I brought it. Okay. You never know what. So today, instead of them guessing my voice, I put this guy. Hold on. Go. I put this guy to the window.
Oh, wow.
I'm Charlie, and I want an ice tall soy chai.
I did not know you were a puppeteer. That is so cool.
Believe it or not, Charlie, by Charlie. I keep him in my car for kids. So whenever I see kids, they all know me as, "Where's Charlie?" And
Oh,
today I pulled them out at Starbucks and they died. I just kind of pulled up to the window and I backed up and I just put him to the front of the window. And there must have been 6 employees come to the window. It's it's my world. It's the world of never growing up. That's who I am. And so go to Starbucks with me sometime. We'll be totally entertained.
yeah, of course. Oh my gosh. Well, honestly, Chris, I love you already. Seriously, like
Oh,
you're a puppeteer. You've been to Starbucks. You've ordered as a puppet. Like, oh my gosh, like never growing up, you pretty much described it accurately. Honestly.
I'm not a real puppeteer per se, but I have I have a love for kids. And so whenever I go anywhere, I have a puppet or I have things in my car just so I connect with them. So say you're at a party somewhere and I'm at the party, I'm not going to be in the room full of adults. I'm going to be in the room with the kids, hanging out and talking and laughing because it's like that's my world. That's what I like to do. So I love kids. I just love kids. So my puppet Charlie goes with me in my trunk for special occasions. We did what was it? Lollipop Theater is the organization where they do for the sick kids, the really sick kids in the hospital. And they can't go out. So a lot of the celebrities will do special chats with them on Zoom. And so I brought Charlie one day and he was able to talk to all the kids. And it was a really fun day for me. And that's what makes my heart happy.
Yeah, that's
Like
really
that.
sweet of you, Chris.
I know I'm a goofball.
Oh no,
I don't even know what the
honestly,
question was. What was your question?
It was, have you seen the new Barbie movie?
Yes,
Okay, I have not. Because
it's
I
great.
barely go to the cinema. Yeah, so it's just I've not been interested in the whole Barbie Oppenheimer craze, hence why I haven't seen any of them. So I just like to stay here in my room. I did go out once to watch Transformers Rise of the Beasts, and that's it. That's my
Well,
interest in this
Amber,
year.
I must say, it doesn't matter if you see it or not. It's really, it's kind of the craze right now. And
Yeah.
you got your own world going on and you do it your way and you do the things that make you happy and you have a passion for stuff and you're great at what you do. And this is your journey and you do it how it's supposed to go for you. Don't compare to anybody. The one thing I do when since I've been in this crazy business for almost 40 years, I never look at the other person and go, oh, but she has this, or I want that. I cannot do that. I have to say what I have and what I'm doing and where I'm going is my journey. And I don't want to compare. I have to compete for jobs, but I'm not going to compare to what everybody else has or I have or haven't. So I just admire you. You're in your lane. You're doing what you do and you do it really well. And you're
Thank you.
you're awesome at it. It's
Thank you.
obvious people are saying yes to you on these interviews. It's not because you have a big giant studio with tons of money and fame and fortune. It's not anything about that. There's something of a light and a thing about you that is very attractive. So and it's real and you're an honest person and that's why I'm here because I like you and I like the way you do things.
Oh, thank you, Chris. That
Sorry,
makes me happy. No, it makes me happy.
true. It's true.
It does make me happy.
At the end of the day, I honestly, you can read my credits or credits that I've done for 40 years. Huh. At the end of the day, it's really about how you treat people.
Yeah.
Does it matter that you're the big star with all these tons of animation and all this? What matters is how you are as a person, how you act with people, how you treat them. That to me is better than any credit because
Yeah.
when I work, honestly, I take the time to connect with people. It's about the people. It is, the job is awesome, but in reality, I think it's just the connection to people that make it
Yeah,
fun.
definitely. And I use that and I get to other people who then say yes to come onto my show. So like I told you a few days ago, the reason why I reached out to you, not just because you're Barbie in Barbie Explorer. Okay, I need to, specifically for those of you at home, if you've watched Cadicarus, he reviewed Barbie Explorer, and of course, Chris was the voice of Barbie in that game, and it's just funny, honestly. So it's not just because of that; it's also because of your recent expedition to Fan Expo Canada.
Whoa.
Ooh,
you know,
yes. Let's talk about
I
that.
just started the whole con thing. It's like for me, it's a different world. It's fun, it's exciting. I get to talk to people one-on-one. What I noticed is it's a whole different world there. People are dressed up and they're very dedicated to the games they play and to the celebrities that they're connected to. And it's like this is a very real thing for people to come up and talk to you. And what an honor. I mean, it's like there's parts of me that say, I was just doing my dishes last night and you want my autograph? Because it's like we're all the same, we really are. But I met some great people, some really great people. I gotta tell you one story. So I'm at my table with my Barbie stuff and my Barbie pictures, and there's this one kid that comes up and he's got this cape on and he's just cool looking. And he walks up and he goes, "Oh, Barbie, I mean, you were part of my childhood." And I just look at, yeah. And he's talking about me and he's just talking about all the great things. And I'm looking at him and I thought, no connection. If you watched him walk by, would you say, he loves Barbie? But he had this thing that was very cool and he loved the creativity of what I did. And I looked at him, and his cape was like high back on it. It was this brown, and it had these chains, and just phenomenal. And then I saw behind him was a man. And I looked at the man, and he's kind of standing back from him. And he's just listening to his son talk. And I'm listening to him talk. And then I said, wow, Evan, you look great. He goes, yeah, I made this cape. I made it. And it took me such and such amount of time. And I added this. And he's going on and on about his cape, right?
Mhm.
And I looked at the man behind him. I says, who are you back there? And he goes, well, I'm just his driver. And I thought, it's not just his driver. I could tell by looking at the guy. It wasn't just a driver. I looked at him, and he was listening to his son, maybe, talk. And I told his son how phenomenal he was about what he did and how creative it was. And I could see the man behind him with tears in his eyes. And I went, oh my gosh, who are you? He goes, I'm his dad. And his dad was so proud. This gets me every time, of his son. He didn't want to embarrass his son to say, oh, I'm his dad driving him to the con. He wanted to lay back. But as he listened to me talk to his son, and his son talked about his journey on making these clothes, and it was like his son stood up straight. He came in kind of this way, and I saw him just kind of stand a little straight. He goes, yeah, and where do you see it next year? I'm going to do this and that. And I went, you go, Evan, you make it, and I'm going to see what you do. And we just connected. And Evan stood straight, said, okay, Dad, let's go. We're ready. And I went, yeah.
Go, Evan.
Go, Evan. It was that moment that you connect, and you listen to people, and you say, this is why I'm here, not for all the just autographs and the blah blah. I go just to talk to people and make them feel good about themselves, because the world needs people to encourage you.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah, there you go. There's the 2000 story that I'll
I love it. I love it though. It's really sweet. It just shows that boys can like Barbie too.
Oh yeah, and it was even more than that. He needed somebody to recognize him and his accomplishment. It wasn't just me sitting behind a table with all these pictures. I mean, yes, I am very proud of my journey, but there was more. There's more to these cons than just the dollar.
Yeah.
That's just my observation. So I'm looking forward to doing more, just because the people are so cool.
Yeah, definitely. And it wasn't just Evan that you met at Fan Expo Canada. It was these two, Peter Cullen and Frank Welker.
Oh man, so cool.
I want to know. Tell me everything about your experience with them.
What is it about you and Frank Welker? You just adore this man. You have this thing about him. When somebody mentions Frank Welker, you go, Frank.
I really don't know. I just like him as person.
There's certain people that you connect with, and he's one of those for you. You admire him, you like him. He's a gentle giant. He's just kind-hearted, and he's gifted beyond. So.
Oh yeah.
So now we were talking when I in the green room behind the curtain, because you've got all this stuff on.
Yeah,
chatting, and I looked at him, and I remembered when he, when he's a real young face, and he's doing probably the height of his career, and he was very settled in who he was. There wasn't him trying to entertain or perform or trying to impress anybody. He was just being frank, and I admired that. I could feel, it's like when you cook with a wrought iron skillet. What are those skillets that you did? They're really they're heavy, and they're well seasoned, and this is kind of a weird analogy, but when you cook with these pans, they're so seasoned that you don't ever wash them out. You just heat them up, and all the seasonings from that pan come to the surface, because they're deep, and they're part of who they are. So I compare him to one of those wrought iron skillets that had been around a lot of years and had lots of flavors and lots of
Mm,
seasoning. And so when I talked to him, I could just feel that, he's just,
yeah.
he's, he's a legend for sure. I don't know if
Yeah.
anything makes sense, but that's how I pictured him.
Well, I'm glad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's just how I see him, as someone who has been seasoned with life and a lot of his work, and he's been a kind-hearted person. I think that's a lot to do with his longevity. Well, I can never say that word. Long time lasting. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, of course. That definitely sounds like the Frank I know, def for sure. And honestly, it's actually that when you met him, it was actually his second convention appearance this year. He's been out of the con circuit for a little while because he had knee surgery.
Well, I'll tell you, some of those parts wear out. Not Barbie's, but
Bobby can bend their elbow.
well, it's funny because I was thinking about, I was writing well, to be honest with you, I'm actually writing a book right now. And
Oh,
it's not just about Barbie, it's about life's journeys and some of the crazy situations I've been in.
yeah.
A lot of interactions with people. And I kind of want it to be about more of life than just about me, So today I was writing down, I thought back about when I first was cast as Barbie, and it was like 1994. How many years ago? And they were looking
Nearly
for
30, 29 years ago.
Thank you for doing the math, my darling. Everybody knows I'm not technical, and my math skills are really weak. So don't press any buttons and don't make me count too high.
I'll try not
But,
to.
but it was exciting. It was exciting time because they were looking for a voice at that time. And I'll tell you, it was really, really meant to be. I didn't even know I was auditioning for her at the time. It was this doll. And I think when you're meant to do something, you're meant to do it. And yeah, she's I know they had a few little projects before I came on the scene. They had experimented with like a workout video and a couple of things, but they were looking for her voice, for a new voice, because they had plans to do all these toys and games and dolls, and I had no idea. I just went into the studio, literally went, "Hi, it's me, Barbie. You look cool." And that's exactly what they wanted to hear. I have a little frog in my throat. But very fortunate to do her.
Yeah, what would you say is your favorite Barbie game? Maybe that you've voiced for, or maybe that you've played. I'm not sure if you. We'll come to that in a minute. About the whole playing it and stuff like that. What would you say your favorite Barbie game is, though, that you've voiced, done, that you voiced on, voice acting on?
Well, we did all the dolls, which were like Talk with Me Barbie, Teacher Barbie, Spanish speaking Barbie, Dentist Barbie.
That's a Spanish Barbie Espanol. Wow.
Which is really kind of funny. I laugh when I tell this because I don't speak Spanish. So they had to have a linguist come in and work with me because Barbie needed to sound like she's, could speak Spanish. So
Yeah.
I remember the day they had a linguist come in and sit down with me. And as she said the colors, like roja, verde, and she would say certain things and words, and good morning, and she'd say it in Spanish. I wasn't a Spanish speaking person, but he was. And
Yeah.
when he came into the room, everybody in the recording booth went, "Oh!" He was a very handsome linguist.
Oh.
He had this dark hair, and he was he was so handsome. He walks in and he comes and sits down next to me. And what's going to happen is I'm going to be on the mic. He's going to say what she needs to say, and then I repeat it. And there was this one line where he says, Barbie's supposed to say, "I love you very much," and he says it in Spanish. And all the girls in the room went, mind. I'm trying to be Barbie speaking Spanish, and they're all looking at this linguist going,
He should have been Spanish, Ken. He should have been Spanish, Ken.
it should have been.
That would have been cool.
They didn't have
I
a
love
Spanish
that.
Ken. They didn't have one, but
No,
it was funny because we spent hours of doing colors and phrases, and Spanish speaking Barbie was pretty popular. And I worked hard trying to sound Latina, roll off my tongue.
yeah. That's so cool. That is so cool. I'm like literally wearing rival pajamas right now.
What?
Well, like rival little pajama bottoms. I'm literally wearing Furby. Like Furby and Barbie like dominated the 90s.
Oh, Furby was awesome. And he was my good friend Tony Pope's voice.
Oh, you knew Tony Pope.
Tony Pope and I did toys together, many toys
Oh,
together.
wow. Oh, that's so cool.
Yes, he was. Tony had such a sense of humor, and he was just, he was one of those people that we clicked. And he has a very talented daughter, Marcella.
I mother on my show.
His wife, Pat. They're good people. And yeah, Tony and I, we did the Geo Talking Safari Globe, which was a globe that it would, as you touched places on the globe, it would tell you where they were, and it plays games with you. And I was that really pleasant voice that said, right, you're right. And now let's go to a new place. That really teacher sweet voice. And he would be the one who had to do all the names of all the countries and states, and I just guided the people through on this globe. But yeah, we did talking books together. I think we did Riding Hood. It was a golden book. It was Little Red Riding Hood, and he was the wolf, and he played the wolf, and I was the little Miss Riding Hood, and don't you eat me. It was really funny because the wolf was the bad one, and she was the cute little girl. That was a great memory. I haven't thought about that in years.
Oh, well, I'm glad to have brought it up for you.
Yes. So we did lots of toys together. Yeah, I did a lot of toys for Fisher Price. Fisher Price was I did a lot of their educational toys. That's kind of a lot. It was before I hit the Barbie thing. I was doing all kinds of voices for Fisher Price and Hasbro, and let's see, gosh, just all the Milton Bradley, the dating games, and all the voices for different characters, and then it was that special moment when they said they're looking for a voice for a doll, and I said, yeah, I do a lot of doll voices, because I did a lot of different ages. My little doll voices is up here, my throat. That's where I get my bug voices too. And I knew that, somewhere in that throat, I'm going to do a real cute doll. And so they said, we have an audition for you at Mattel. Come tomorrow, and you can audition for this doll. I had no idea who the doll was. And that's when they had the 1994 earthquake. And you don't know about that because you're not in California, but Northridge, California had
I wasn't born in 1994. I wasn't around.
They had an earthquake, and I wasn't going to that audition, believe me. And my husband said, go to your audition. Don't worry. I'll take care of things. Because, it wasn't horrible, but it was horrible enough to things falling off the shelves. And I went down to Mattel the next day. But before I went, the director on the phone said, I'm sorry, I'm sure you're not able to come to your audition. So why don't you just, give me a little sample of what you think this would sound like, this. And I said, well, what's this? He goes, well, Barbie. I said, you want a sample of what Barbie would sound like? You mean Barbie the doll? No pressure. Earthquake, Barbie's voice. And so I said, sure, what do you want me to say? And I'm kind of cutting this story a little short for you, so because I've said it so many times, but he said, just say, hi, this is Barbie, welcome to McDonald's. I went, huh? Hi, it's me, Barbie. You look cool. Welcome to McDonald's. And he didn't say anything. I thought I was so bad. He probably said, well, thanks for trying. And he said, come tomorrow if you can. We'd like to meet you. I drove to Mattel the next day. I had no running water. I put on my baseball cap, went down to Mattel, and I sat behind a mic with all these people sitting in a recording booth looking at me. And the director was there and he said, okay, Chris, just do what you did on the phone for everybody here. And I went, okay. And my baseball cap. The reason I had on a baseball cap is because I couldn't shower because there wasn't any water. And I wanted to look pretty like Barbie, and I couldn't look like Barbie. I had to look like whatever I could to get there. So I went, I did the same thing. And nobody said anything. They just went like this. And I thought, yeah, just look at you doing it. Slow motion. The director pressed the talk back button and said, hi, Barbie, are you ready to do some work tomorrow?
Oh my gosh.
It's like, it was meant to be for me, it was,
Yeah.
I believe in God has things planned for me, and Mattel had some things planned for me. And we recorded toy after toy after toy, doll after doll, talking hotels and Jeeps and computers and cell phones. There were so many toys. It's like she didn't have a voice. So finally they gave her a voice, and she talked and talked and talked on everything. Especially the computer games were really fun. They were like Barbie detective, Barbie fashion designer, which was the coolest one, because I think I told you that this year they put it in the video game
Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Yeah, because your little girls had no computer games. This was groundbreaking. And when you sat on the computer, you're typing, you could design her fashions. Then you could watch her model of them, and then you could print it out with this special fabric and put it on your Barbie doll, and she modeled your clothes, your fashions. Unbelievable.
It was literally the future back then.
It was.
I'm actually looking at it now. I'm looking at pictures of like the actual app itself, and honestly, that just looks. I want it. I want to go back to 1996.
Even if you're not into Barbie, it's just the coolest game ever. Yeah. I think about Barbie. She had so many different voices after me, but the 90s and early 2000s, when I was doing her voice, I know that they wanted her to be like every little girl's best friend. They weren't worried about her being the hipper, cooler Barbie, that was later years. They wanted her to be engaging with little girls. They wanted that little girl to pick her up and feel like she was their best friend. And to me, that's why my voice was soft and sweet. It wasn't worried about being trendy and cool. I wanted her to not sound dumb or airheady. I wanted her to be authentic sounding, and kind-hearted. And that was who I was during that time. We did all of our video games that way, and we did everything until it changed. And I was saying that, are we back?
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
Sorry, my stories just go on and on and on.
I felt really bad, but yeah, I had to cut you off. It's just
no. It's just it's good. It was all good. And I think, sometimes I have fun talking about the stories, and you need to go, okay.
Hold on, partner. So Chris, obviously you're not just known for Barbie, you've done a lot of other stuff in your career. So you've done a few films such as Ella Bella Bingo and Rumble. Television, some people may know you from the cartoon Ring Raiders from 1989. You were the voice of Jenny Gale.
Commander Jenny Gale. She was brave. She was so brave, and she didn't take stuff from anybody. She was really brave. Yeah, that was wow, that was a while back. I think about Rumble was really fun because I got to play like a country lady. She was a farmer and she
Yeah.
talked a little bit like that. And I think
Oh.
inside of me somewhere there's a farmer. I can't cook, but I know I'm a farmer somewhere. So I loved doing her. Um, yeah, you think about the things you've done through the years, and it's like you wonder how important it all is. It is in the sense that you need to be proud of your work and that you've worked hard to accomplish certain things. But I tend to be a little, I don't know, it's stuff, it's we're all gifted in some way, and a lot of us get different jobs. And I started out as an actress where you could see me. I was on
And on
camera.
screen, on
I
camera,
was on
yeah.
screen. So all my early like 20s, 30s, I was doing commercials. I was always doing I was doing like a lot of dumb blondes, which are really funny to me now because they're always talking like, oh, yeah, and they're bank tellers. And um I had this one commercial. My agent, Nancy Washburn, was my first agent and still is a really good friend and agent in San Diego. And she looked at me and she says, Chris, I'm going to start sending you out on all these commercials. I think you're going to do just great. And I was kind of green. She'd send me on commercials and she'd say, okay, don't worry about it. Just stay in character. Stay in character. So whatever she set me on, I was that character. And one day she set me on this commercial for lawnmowers. Yeah, lawnmowers. She knows I'm a Lucy. That's who I am. I'm Lucy at heart. And so she says, just go on this commercial for a lawnmower and dress like a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I says, why am I dressing like a guy? She says, well, the commercial is pretty much a man riding a lawnmower. It's a sit-down lawnmower. He's riding a lawnmower and he's showing how these lawnmowers are really good at cutting grass and stuff. But at the end of the commercial, you're going to take off your hat and you're going to be a girl. See, girls can even drive these things. That was the commercial. So she says, you go, Chris, dress like a man. And at that, and in the audition, because at that time, that's when you would see people. Yeah, you would go into a room and the casting people would be at a table. They
Yeah.
weren't just videotape. So they're sitting there and I was just like a guy, had on a hat. And I was going to show them how this commercial is going to work. And I was going to be their girl. So I came in the room and had on my hat. And they're looking at my headshot going. So I took off my hat. Took off my hat. Let my hair tumbled out just like the commercial. Well, it was a really hot day and my hair didn't tumble. It just stayed up in my hat. It was horrible. It did not have that effect that, I'm a girl and it would tumble out. It didn't happen that way. They just looked at me like something's supposed to happen because your hair's in this hat all crunched.
Where's the funny? Where's the joke?
Well, I didn't book that commercial, but I did book another one. They gave me a whole different commercial.
Oh no.
It was okay. They gave me a really funny commercial. They says, we don't want to use you for this. We're going to use you for this. And I was like,
oh, right. Okay.
And I found that commercials were, you look a certain way and you'll hear other actors talk about it. You're limited. You have a look, but character acting and voice acting, you can be anything. I like to be really old ladies and I like to be crazy characters, not that stereotype of, girls look a certain way. That wasn't me. I was always, Lucy rolling up her sleeves trying to act pretty. I just didn't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so cool though. Honestly, I still wish you did book that lawnmower job, to be fair. That would have been quite fun.
I don't think I'd sell any lawnmowers though.
I would have shown it. I would have shown a video of it on this interview thing. I would have done.
That's what worries me. I was dancing paint cans. I was all kinds of things in my 20s and 30s. Yeah, I got a job as a dancing paint can. And I remember being this big old paint can and my legs are sticking out the bottom. and I'm supposed to do this little dance as the paint can, because I said I could dance, and I could as a paint can. I remember tipping back and going, because once you tip back, you can't get your balance, and the whole thing, the costume rolled back.
Oh no!
On the stage, and my legs go.
Oh my gosh, you just go. It's like all the way up. Oh my god.
So I, commercials, and I got small parts and some of the I think 8 is enough, a couple things, but I loved voice work. Voice work was just fun and goofy. I think everybody can do voices if you just allow yourself to be fearless at it. Don't worry about what you look like. Don't worry about how goofy you are. You have to just be fearless, and just, everybody's got crazy little voices they do. Even when you're a kid in the mirror, you're looking in the mirror and you're doing all these voices as a kid. I'm sure you do some great voices, Miss Amber. Just for example, give me a voice that is completely different from your own right now.
Okay. Well, it's not really my own voice. It's more of an impression of Tar Strong Doom Raven from Teen Titans. So
Good.
A little bit down here. She's a sort of a little bit of a raspy character. Azra Metron Zinthos. Sort of like that. Yeah, so it's sort of a little bit down here. And then I can do so a little kid voice. Okay, would hang on. I gotta show this off.
My little kid voice is kind of a bit up here in the sort of nasal cavity of my face. So, I tend to, sort of talk like a little kid, or maybe I could make it a bit boyish, maybe, and sort of make it a little bit more crusty down in the throat there. And maybe
excellent
into sort of accent like that. Or it could suddenly go all Cornish, like something like that. I don't know.
Okay, when you're doing your little boy right now, when you're doing little boy, I want you to do that little boy voice and go, "Oh man!" Give me an "Oh man!"
Okay.
Oh man!
That's it. Okay, and give me one of these. Do one of those. Perfect.
Homework.
My example. We've got a talented person here who can do voices, but it's like we all do these crazy things, and it's just allowing yourself to go there and not think about it. Just feel it. I've sat in a room full of kids. You just listen to them talk. You listen to the way they say things. They don't finish their sentences. You gotta listen, and you can get great characters out of just listening to children and how their cadence, how they phrase things. I know for me, some of my best characters that I have learned, I would say acquired through the years. I watch people. I get my voices from people. I'll see a country lady talk like that, and you know what? I'll talk just like her. I see these things and I just put them into my bag and I remember them for later. You get great characters watching your aunt talk. She got some quirky little way of talking, or your grandparents or a neighbor, and you get your characters through real people. My daughter is a voice actress. She's great. She was a little kid when I was performing Barbie. She is now, she's in Batman Arkham video game. She was
What's her name?
Kelsey Lansdowne. She was in Hearts. What is that? Hearts. Gosh, I'm trying. Kingdom Hearts. She did Rapunzel. I'm trying to think of some of the things she's done. Oh,
what did you say her first name was?
Kelsey Lansdowne. Anyways, the reason I'm bringing her up is because she was in Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Oh wow!
She started as a little girl just watching me, and I used to go to auditions, and this is when you would go into your agency, and they would have auditions there, and you'd go into the recording booth, and sometimes she'd go with me, and she'd just sit on the floor and color and listen, and I would be doing my auditions and things. And she was about 7 years old, and my agent said, why don't you just let her read for this kid part with this mom and this daughter part? together. And I went, she's 7. She doesn't know how to do this. She goes, Kelsey, this is Sandy Schnarr of AVO Talent, who I adore, said, let Kelsey read. Kelsey doesn't know how to do this. Kelsey gets up on the stool by the microphone and goes, Kelsey, here's your lines. And Kelsey reads this little girl part, and I'm going, well, and then I read the mom to the commercial. And we're reading this commercial together because my agent said, let her do it. And I thought, oh boy, one more crazy person in my house. We don't need any more crazy people. So the next day, my agent calls and says, Kelsey booked that job, that commercial. I went, huh? She didn't know what she did.
It's in the heart. It's all in the heart.
I was so proud of her. She'd listened and listened for so long to be doing things. And I thought, well, how about the mother? They go, no, they picked a different mom. I went,
oh, no, pulling her out immediately.
it's hilarious because she booked it and I didn't. I went, oh, okay, I'm going to take her to her job and go, do you want the real mother here or you want the fake mother? So it was so cool. After that, she started booking, voices for all kinds of stuff. I went, that's really cool. And then one day it finally happened. She got older and I heard her auditioning because this is when she was still living at home. I could hear her reading for a job. I went, huh, that sounds kind of familiar. I went, huh, that's the same audition I have.
Wow.
Some kind of kid thing. And I went, wow, she sounds really good. I was amazed. My daughter was a better actress than I was. I thought she's gonna book that too. But it was a moment in time for me that I was so proud and so happy for. And
Did any of you guys book it or not?
Trying to remember. I can't remember. It was way back when, but
That's okay. That's okay.
She does really good. What is it that when you do impressions of, she listens to somebody and she does all of Rapunzel stuff. She's really good at it.
Oh, wow. So Mandy Moore, essentially. Sort of like a Mandy Moore, like sound alike.
Yeah. And she sings,
Yeah.
which is, my singing is not that great. But I can sing in character. And I sang as Barbie once. I was trying to tell you that, yeah, Barbie, I have never heard that she sang as a doll. I mean, of course she sings now on all kinds of things, but on the doll, it was like a Christmas doll. And I think I sent you a picture. She was the Holiday Singing Sisters. And
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. I've never
3
sang
more
that
months, Barbie. 3 more months. Give it another
I mean,
3
I
months.
love doing Barbie, but near and dear to my heart is Adventures in Odyssey.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I'm the host of Adventures in Odyssey, and that's probably trumps Barbie, because that's a radio drama for kids and adults. And we've been on for 35 years, and it's an amazing show. And I've been able to be the host of it for 35 years. And Katie Lee and Will Ryan and Jess Harnell and all of them are on the show. It's an incredible radio drama. And the writing, Phil Lawler, Paul McCusker, I can't even name them all. If I start to do that, then I'm going to leave somebody out. But writers are top notch, and the production's good, and the fans are all over the world love Adventures in Odyssey. These characters are family. And one of the more special parts of my job is I get to do a character on the show every once in a while. I'll play, a different character, like Mrs. Randolph. Mrs. Randolph talks a little like this, and she's a very gentle, sweet woman. But what I get to do periodically is call kids. I actually get to call kids and surprise them. And it's so much fun because there'll be a kid that wants to talk, and I get to say hi, and they'll answer the phone. They go, is this Chris? I go, yeah, because I am Chris. And sometimes they're going through a rough time. Maybe they're having a hard time at school, or maybe their family's going through a divorce. I get to talk and just let them talk to me, and we talk as friends. And it's one of the best parts of that job is being a good listener for these kids, which I just love to do. So
Yeah. What's your favorite memory of working with Will Ryan?
Will Ryan, oh gosh, I miss him so much.
I miss him too.
Yeah,
He would have
Will,
loved my
there's
little wall.
there's nobody like Will Ryan.
Never will. There
but
won't. Never will be another Will Ryan.
no, I mean,
No.
it wasn't just his voice; it was who he was, and he was.
I
There
just
was one
remember.
time
Yeah.
I was opening the show with, "Hi, this is Chris. Welcome to Adventures in Odyssey." I have opened it that way for 35 years. Will opens up and now sometimes I record separate from the whole cast. I'll sit in my booth and I do my opening and I talk to the kids and they record the opening and the close. Will opens the door to my recording with, "Hey, hi." He starts talking to me, and they captured us having a conversation in the middle of my opening, which was hilarious. They kept it. It was so funny.
Please
Will
tell
and
me you
I,
have a copy of that.
oh, I probably do somewhere, but more a better memory than that was Will and I played a couple on the show called it was titled The Gifts of Magi and Guy. It was a takeoff of The Gifts of the Magi. And Will played my husband. He was Guy, and I was Madge. And Madge was very sweet. She loved him, and he loved her. And they were such a cute couple together. We did that show back when they first started, back in the early 80s.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had more fun being Madge and Guy. Finally, that they wrote a second one with us in it, and by now the second version of them, we had a little more chance to kind of improvise and have more fun with our characters. But I just adored him. He made everything more fun. He was so creative. Katie Lee and him were best friends, and
I know.
I think you had them on the show, right?
I did. I had them on an episode, both of them.
Oh gosh, I gotta listen to that.
I wish I did a separate episode with Will. I'm planning on doing a separate one with Casey as well, like sort of part two. Be cool with it, because I remember saying to Will, "Oh yeah, I need to see Peter and Frank again" and stuff like that. And he was just so thinking. He used to say his memories of working with them on like GI Joe and stuff. And then I used to always email him back and forth. And when I met them, I tried to email him saying, "Hey." This obviously after he passed, but obviously I sent it just because it's just you feel like doing it. I just said, "Hey, look who I find. I got to meet them. We miss you." And
are you looking back? You're looking back.
yeah,
at
I'm looking back at the picture. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I thought maybe you're just turning your head. I thought, what you're looking at?
Oh no. I was gonna say. So I was like, you met them. We miss you, Will. And it said the
They
email,
have a
and
show.
it said the email no longer existed. I felt like a part of me just.
They did a little show together called Tell You Later. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, I was going to be on that as a guest to talk about my project that those two helped me on, but it never really came to fruition. But I think I might be doing an in-person appearance next year. So
that would be great. You'd be so good on that. Katie's one of my dearest friends. We've been friends for years, and we talk all the time. We talk once every week.
I presume that because of AIO.
Well, aside from AIO, we just hit it off as friends, and I love her husband Vinny and Jerry, my Jerry, who is started out as a musician and a songwriter years ago, and he is later transitioned from that into a different line of work, but he's a phenomenal singer. Love my husband. We met, he was singing. That's a whole other story for another day. I don't know if you have time for that, but yeah, he was singing and I heard him singing and I went, I was a little waitress.
Two came to one.
Well, I was a waitress where he was working, and I'd never waited tables before, and I didn't know how to wait tables, and I was terrible. And the only way I could make tips was to do voices while I was making tips. Wait, doing voices for tips. And then he was singing up on the stage. He was like, got a beautiful voice. His originals were very deep. And he goes, what is with the noise in the back of the room? There's the waitresses making all kinds of noise, and I'm singing up here. I was in the back of the room making a bunch of noise because I was trying to make money because I couldn't get my drink orders right. And he said, could you tell her to kind of, I go, tell the entertainer that the waitress is trying to make a living. And the whole audience went, what? This is true. And he goes, on the mic, we'll tell the waitress if she wants to entertain, she could come up on stage and entertain. I went, tell the singer I will. On my tray. The whole audience is going, oh. I went up on the stage and he goes, what? And I could move over, took the microphone and went, I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my hand. Oh, wait a minute. I'm a sugar bowl. So the audience went crazy. And Jerry, my husband, goes, what is she doing? But he liked me. He secretly liked me.
It was love. It's like a fairy tale. It's so beautiful. Love it.
He asked me for a date.
Ooh,
We've been married for 38 years now. What does that tell you?
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations to you guys on 38 years of true
Thank
love.
you. He puts up
You're
with
welcome.
me. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah. So, Chris, the final thing I would like to talk about is a little bit of your cartoon voiceover career. So you've done stuff like Johnny Bravo, ThunderCats, the 2011 series, Trolls, The Beat Goes On, Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts.
Oh, Kipo was a cool show. That was like a real cutting edge. I was a goat. We were the 3 goat sisters on that show. That was really fun. It was with Mindy Sterling and Kay Bass. We were the 3. I mean, we're just many characters on the show, but that was our thing. Was we were the 3 goat sisters, the prophesying goat sisters, and we saw things in the cheese. And Kay played this really dumb goat, which was real funny, and everything she said was really dumb. And then there was Mindy played this really dry kind of goat. And as I look back at it, I think they were trying to do like the Golden Girls. Do you remember the show, The Golden Girls?
Yeah, I know it, but I've not seen it.
If you ever see it. And I was like, I was Florabel. I was the smart one. She was kind of sassy. And these 3 goats were hilarious together. And I was hoping that show would go on and on forever, but it was really well done and really good. And you never know,
We'll come back. It's a reboot.
But it was great because I got to work with 2 really creative girls next to me. We're always doing a scene together,
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's so cool. And another thing that you've done is Curious George, a show that I grew up with. Yeah, in 2020 that you did that episode. And of course, Mr. Welker over there was George. The voice is the voice of George. He does like monkey noises for him, the oohs and the ahs.
You just love that Frank Welker. I mean, there's going to be a day where you and Frank, this girl is in love with you.
Oh, don't say that, Chris. Oh,
I'm kidding. No, I'm sure he adores you too. But yeah, Curious George is a really great show. Chris Zimmerman is an awesome director. When she directs, she's a people's director. She gets that good read out of you. And I love what she does. And yeah, they cast me for this. She was a little bit of a. Well, she lived in the lighthouse and George, and she would talk like this. I love to do people that are seasoned because a lot of my work is always high and, but this lady, she was smart, but she was always very curious like George was. I remember her very well.
Wow.
It was a fun show. Very fun show.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I bet it was, honestly. What would you? No, that's the wrong wording. Have you ever played one of your Barbie games for PlayStation or the Windows or anything like that?
Of course. Of course. I couldn't wait.
Mm-hmm.
When they started coming out, and I think it was Barbie Hairstyler, was really cool because you could style all of her hair, give her different hairdos, and you could do different like her makeup. And I remember them coming, like there was they were delivered to me. There's a couple delivered. So the day they came to my door, they're in this box wrapped up in a paper. Barbie Hairstyler, Barbie Secret Agent. But and I set at the computer and I put him in. And I thought, what's it like for a little girl to sit there and play with Barbie on her computer? Girls never had computer games. This was so cool. I played them all. I wanted to see what it felt like. And it was really cool. But like anybody, you think, who's an actress, you'll go, oh, I should have done that different. Oh, I should have said that different. But I tried to just eliminate the critiquing it and just be a kid and play it. And it was fun. It's really fun. When they sent me Super Talk Barbie, it was the first doll that I did. And she had 90s hair with this little mini skirt. And she was very cute. I'll tell you, I couldn't get her out of the box fast enough. And the way they do Barbies in a box, they always do these twist ties in the back of them. Twist tie their neck, twist tie their, everything. I couldn't get her out of the box. And the first word she said like 100,000 phrases. 100,000 phrases. But technology was new then, so they mixed and matched sentences. So she'd say, I'm going to the mall later with Ken for pizza. So they'd say, they would mix and match a whole bunch of 100,000 phrases. So that was a cool. I think Talk With Me Barbie was the one. You plugged her into your computer, you downloaded her, and she would say every little girl's name possible.
I was gonna say, how long did it take for you to record like every single name in the universe?
That took months. So I literally would sit at a microphone saying, Cindy, Linda, Marie, Barbara. We went through name after name after name. We went through baby books for names. Then we started doing other languages. We did like Spanish and Cantonese and so it was months of just saying names. I remember going, I think I need a break. I can't do another name. But it was
very poor kid out there who doesn't have their name on it.
That doll, her mouth would open and close as she said your name and had conversation with you. Her mouth opened and closed. It was
What's it called? What's this Barbie called?
This was Talk With Me Barbie.
Talk with me.
There's a commercial. You'll find a commercial for her.
I found it. She's sitting at a computer.
Yeah, she was groundbreaking too, because I've never seen a Barbie's mouth open and close.
Oh my
I'm surprised they don't talk more about her. A doll, a Barbie that actually had her, open and close. I remember they had some issues with it getting stuck and talking in it. But we recorded. Then they did phonemes. Phonemes are where they do like sounds. T, Patty, Katie. They would add sounds to make names.
Yeah.
Phonemes. So I would do recording sessions of talk, or you do Linda. It would just form names. I don't know if I explained it, but it was really. And then there was times where we would do recording sessions of just her making sounds like ow, all those different things. And there's one time I went through Mattel and I remember looking at one of the cubicles. You're never supposed to look around when you go through the design studio. You're not supposed to look at the toys. It's very top secret. Toys were, something I'll talk about. And I could see them working on different projects, and I wasn't allowed to look at things. I was supposed to go right to my studio, but I could see Hot Wheels and Transformers and all kinds of really cool toys being made. And I saw this one little cubicle of ladies sitting at this table, little Barbie heads lined up, hundreds of lined up Barbie heads. And they had on these glasses with magnifying glasses attached to it, like a magnifying, and they were painting doll eyes. I went, painting doll eyes? Because at that time, just by changing the white of her eye would change her to look to the left, change an expression by doing different white, parts of her eyes. And now when they're painted, I went, oh, that's cool. And I went by and I went, ow, that hurts. And they went,
what?
I was the goofy Barbie, not anything. I was goofy. That's all I could tell you.
I wish I would have been that. I could have been there to witness that. That must have been hilarious.
You're gonna lock me up someday because I just know there's stuff.
No,
somebody's gonna say she's half crazy.
Oh, Chris. My final question to you, Chris. The big question is: would you ever return as Barbie for any video game or doll or even TV show? Would you like to?
Well, I think, Barbie's done movies and videos and she's done so many things, and her sound is so different. It's, it's more of a current realistic sound now. Like I said, I was kind of in the 90s and I had a certain feel to when I did her. If they brought her back for anything, I would have to bring her. The softer side of her. That's who I was. I'm not going to try to be the cooler, hipper version, because there's plenty of girls that are doing that, If they brought her back, I'd love to do that, because that's who I wanted to be. When I played with her, I played on my bedroom floor with Barbie. I sat there and did the voice for a Barbie doll. And my sister played with me, and I got to be Barbie sometimes, and sometimes she got to be Barbie. But
and then you grew up to be Barbie. That was my dream.
I would love if they invited me, only because little girls and kids, that makes it special, because I encourage kids through being Barbie, and that would be a reason for me too. Yeah. I went to see the movie and I saw a bunch of little kids in line dressed in pink and all their little Barbie outfits, and one little girl she was having a meltdown with her mom because her mom wanted her to give her her purse. Give her her purse. And the little girl would not listen to her mommy, and it was a big scene in line, and it was so bad because I felt so bad for the mom. The little girl's going, no. And I went, you need to give Barbie give your mom her, give your mom your purse. And she went, and I told nobody who I was. And I went and got and sat down on my seat.
That is funny.
I must be half crazy.
Yeah, honestly, we're all crazy on our own way. I love it.
Anyways, thanks. This has been a lot of fun, and you let me ramble and let me tell stories, because that's what that's what I love to do. And Amber, you make a difference in the world. You have a specialness about you when you interview. You got a good heart, and you're creative, and you got good voices. Someday maybe. And I want to be on your wall back there. You see that the wall behind you with all your people back there?
Yeah.
I want to be on your wall.
If we meet in person, get a picture on there.
Okay. Deal.
Definitely. Deal. Chris, where can we find you on social media?
Let's see. You can find me Chris Anthony Lansdowne on Instagram, Chris Anthony Lansdowne on Facebook. I think that's a good place to start. You can always message me, and I tell lots of stories on my Facebook and Instagrams, and I try to keep it fun and positive. And if you want to talk, I find a way to do that. So, and also I'm on Cameo. If you ever want a special message from me, I can do a Cameo for you. So yeah, reach out, come talk.
Woo. Woo, yeah. I'll definitely link those in the description. To you, everybody at home, thank you for watching this episode of In Conversation with ATF with the lovely Chris Anthony Lansdowne. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did filming it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you around.
Cool. I can't wait. Bye, everybody.
Bye, and cut. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, it's me, Barbie. Hi, Amber. You are cool.
Woo! Let's go!